Welcome back, folks. On my phone, on the Doghouse phone, right here, I've got an amazing band out of the UK. I told you last year about these cats. They are the Boston Rats, amazingly not from Boston, from the UK, but they put out a great CD last year. Say hello, guys. Say hello to all of our listeners all over the world.
Hello, you lot.
All at once right there. Did you hear that? You guys put out your first CD last year, and you've been playing for a minute, but that was your first full-length release. How did it come to be? How did you guys get together?
Well, me and Zach were in a band called the Devil Rays from over here. We started that a few years ago, about 5 years ago. And we met Paul through doing that sort of thing, and we just decided that we'd get together, have a little jam, and then it all took off from there, and it's been non-stop ever since.
Well, I've stopped quite a lot.
It really has. I've found your guys' album just simply amazing. There's so many tracks on there that I like. From Red Hot Lady, that's a good one. Evil Son, My Pharmacist. Hey, what do you guys do when writing a song? You know, how do you actually come up with some of the ideas? Obviously, it's psychobilly, so some of it's a little tongue-in-cheek humor. Well, what's the best way for you guys to actually come together and collaborate?
Well, generally, Eric, what happens is I watch my Brian Setzer video at home and try and learn guitar like him and get very frustrated. And then I come up with this weird bastardized version of his guitar playing, which is really not nearly as good. And then I play it to these two, and they try and cover up my musical shortcomings by hitting their instruments really hard. No, I'm trying to inject some humour for all the listeners. It's generally kind of riff-based. I'll come up with a riff, something that sounds good. The boys will add to it, because Ian's a guitarist as well. Paul vaguely knows what a guitar is. We just build on a riff with like drum beats and bass lines, and then it's kind of like, it's very much like we don't come into rehearsal and say, I've written a song. We come in with ideas and build them all together, so it's always collaborative, and we find that a really nice way of working, because everyone's involved in the writing, down to lyrics, down to finishing the songs. It works beautifully.
That's great, and it has worked out on this CD, and I'm sure you guys have been working on new material. Is that correct, or?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's been not quite as fast as getting.
I had to learn another chord.
Yeah, it was that whole third chord thing that really stuck. I
know. I was arguing with them. The Ramones managed with two, so I didn't want to have to learn a third one, but they insisted.
Well, makes sense. Every now and then it's good to throw on the third chord. Just,
It's very tricky, Eric. It's very tricky.
Just to be traditional, right?
Yeah. You got to keep it a bit traditional.
Even Elvis Presley knew the third chord. Come on!
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I did, Eric. I knew that third chord.
So speaking of Elvis or any of the other older cats, who really influences you guys when it comes to music? What made you want to get into the crazy rock and roll world?
When I was 8, I wanted to be in the Clash, but I believe they weren't looking for anyone then. So my background's very much punk and rockabilly. I know arguably psychobilly's a mix of those two things, but I love my punk. I love really sort of Sun Records rockabilly, and then when I heard In Heaven by the Meteors, it kind of blew my mind a bit, because they were putting it back together. But I've got very, very eclectic taste, much to Ian's dismay.
Yeah,
he won't let me listen to Kraftwerk.
No, turn that rubbish off.
So nobody was influenced by Sir Mix-a-Lot.
By who?
No, we've got Jive Bunny over here, mate.
Jive.
Look them up,
Jive Bunny and the Master Mixers. That's right, the Master Mixers. They'll take your songs and fuck them all up.
Well, if they don't, we will.
Is Sir Mix-a-Lot the one who likes big butts?
He is.
But he never lies about it.
Right.
I don't trust that fucker.
I wouldn't trust him either, I'm telling you. Oh.
Yeah, I grew up with rock and roll. My dad was an old teddy boy over here, and I grew up with it. And grew up with the Stray Cats and Shakin' Stevens. And
they lived in his house.
They all lived in my house. And yeah, and then I again just heard In Heaven. That was it for me. Bang.
Right. Now you guys know in the past, back like in the 80s and stuff, it was like all the rockabilly people had to stay over here and the psychobilly people had to stay over here. But nowadays it seems like it's all came together. Like on this show, I can mix it up a bit. I can play some of the more traditional rockabilly songs, but then I can take it off with like a great song off of your CD, by the Boston Rats. Go out and get it today off of your CD. Play a little bit of the psycho stuff, and it still all comes together. What do you think has caused the change that everything just kind of melds together now?
I think it's because there's not enough people to go around.
Yeah, it's just such a small scene.
I think as well that people have got older, so the whole sort of tribal thing of like, us lot over there with the big flower pot, bloody turn-ups, and this lot over here with the slightly smaller ones. I think people have grown out of that now, and as I say, there's not so many of us to go around, so everyone just kind of has grown up a little bit, and and appreciates what the other side are doing.
I think there's so much shit music as well, coming off the back of talentless shows and just the usual mass-produced drivel that I think people have been... I mean, a classic example of that connection is the way the Cramps got people into Sun recordings, Obviously, I'm sure I don't tell you the Cramps were a New York punk band who played, Sun Rockabilly and fucking revved all that up, but it's always been connected, really. When we were younger and people gave a shit about youth cultures and who did what and who was a skinhead and who was a mod, people did used to sort of stay apart. But psychobilly and rockabilly, no matter how much people disagree or don't want to admit it, they are close, very closely related. You can't play really good psychobilly unless you understand rockabilly. At least that's what I think.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Well, yeah, I mean, I've seen some bands that will, I don't know, they'll list themselves as psychobilly, but I can't find a hint of rockabilly in the music. To me, that's just you're playing punk then,
Yeah, but that's it. You're playing punk, or you're adding that touch of thrash metal to it, or whatever. But traditionally, psychobilly is rockabilly, a fusion of rockabilly and punk, and you've got to have that rockabilly lick to it, if you like.
Right, and these guys know all about the little bit of rockabilly lick. I gotta admit that. We're gonna listen to a track right now called I Got It. It's off their new CD, The Boston Rats.
Coming up to me and they're asking how I'm doing. I just turn and walk away 'cause they
we are coming off of I Got It. That's off the This Ain't Rock and Roll album by the Boston Rats. Hey guys, do you guys got a website or a place they can buy this CD?
We will have probably by the time this comes out we will have, and it will be bostonrats.com. If not, then either find us on Facebook and PM us, or directly through Western Star record label.
And you can definitely hook up with them right through our website, right on the front page right now at screamingdeadradio.com. So make sure to hook up with these cats. They're absolutely awesome. I want to get into the song F.O.G, Fuck Off Girl. I want to know if that was inspired by true life events.
No, look, it's not written about anyone. If I'm to be completely honest, there's a few girls out there from my past who maybe could have written it about me. But no, it's really not written about anyone. The kind of inspiration for it it's just an anti-love song, you know? It's like, I listen to quite a lot of 60s garage and some of that stuff, you know, it's all so saccharine and sweet and over the top, you know. And there's, you know, a lot of the rockabilly stuff, it's like picking up your girl in a pink Cadillac, and I'm afraid it's, you know, it's my punk upbringing. I just wanted to write an absolute anti-love song. But there is a little twist at the end if you listen to it. Basically, you know, the story is this guy's ranting and fucking raving and laying the law down, and his missus actually isn't listening to him. And you know, it's all about blokes with big mouths and you know, who just get it's a feminist tune, really. It's a feminist tune. We actually can't do it live anymore because unfortunately the irony of it doesn't come across, and it's a tumbleweed moment. So you know, we aren't anti-women. It wasn't written about anyone. It's just supposed to be a bit of fun and an anti-love song. I hope that doesn't disappoint.
And it doesn't disappoint. You know what? I always tell people, this music is about having fun. You know, I mean, people, a lot of the bands out there, they're singing songs about zombies. You know, I fucked a zombie or whatever. They didn't really fuck a zombie. They're just having fun. It's music, people.
You're joking.
It's just music. So
get yourself down for the early bird breakfast. You might get lucky.
You know, it's just sometimes people don't understand, you know, that it's a lot of fun, and that's what rock and roll in its roots is all about, just having fun, forgetting about life and going at it.
Absolutely.
But I did have to mention the song because it's one I've happened to play on our anti-love show just a couple months ago.
I mean, look, you know, if anyone wants to listen to it, if it's useful to them at that time, you know, then great. You know, I'd rather they listen to that than fucking shouted at their old lady and acted like a dick. So you know, use it as you will.
Right, and I'd rather them listen to any of this instead of Miley Cyrus. So,
are you telling me, Eric, you don't have the Cyrus virus?
I do not. I seen she put out a song Wrecking Ball, and I thought it was going to be a wrecking tune with some psychobilly bass, but I was sadly wrong.
Yeah, and Justin Bieber's got a massive fucking quiff.
Justin Bieber, don't even get me started about that Canadian.
Have you got Bieber fever, Eric?
I don't have
virus.
I would rather have like gonorrhea than have the Bieber fever, okay?
Again, come to Brighton, mate. Easily.
Yeah, easily sorted.
So have you guys been working on any music videos or anything to put up there on YouTube? I haven't seen any as of yet, so...
Yeah, I mean, the whole thing with the music video is you have to kind of think about the balance between how it's actually gonna be useful to people who like your music and how it's gonna be useful to getting your music out there, and whether it's actually a bit of an ego trip and playing at pop stars. But we are looking at making a video. It's gonna be fun rather than you know, dry ice and pouting, but you know, Yeah, it's definitely something we'll do, but don't expect like, sort of Van Halen high production values.
Right. We did this on our webcam in our basement.
Yeah, that's the sort of thing. That's it.
Hey, right there, that is do-it-yourself rock and roll.
That's punk rock.
That's punk rock, definitely.
Oh, yeah.
I'll send you over some cans of Pabst Blue Ribbon, and you can set them up in the background.
Get on it, son. Get on it.
Product placement.
Yeah.
I like that, yeah.
So you guys have been, basically playing music for a while and around in different bands and everything like that. Now, what do you think the internet has done for the music scene, whether it be the psychobilly scene or rockabilly scene, the underground scene in general? What do you think the internet has done for that, for you guys as an artist?
I think it's great in terms of getting yourself out there, and I think a really good byproduct of it is it's completely destroyed the music industry in terms of money and labels screwing people over. And I think with the internet now and all that, there's a lot more of the sort of DIY ethic, and I think it really helps to, like for instance this, we're having an interview with you, we're sat about 3,500 miles away from you. And and talking to you, and all your people can hear our music, and so I think it's really positive on that. As I say, it's destroyed a lot of the bad stuff about the industry. So bring it on.
Right, and you guys have been playing mainly over in the UK right now.
We're talking about going to Europe hopefully sometime this year, and we're also looking very much into getting over to the States next year as well.
Yeah,
so
early next year.
Yeah. So. We'll keep you posted on that.
Well, that's right. If you come over to the States, come over. I'll hang out. And
oh, yes, you will.
You never.
Yeah, we'll be staying at your gaff, mate.
you never might. You never know what happens when the sheepdog shows up. I tell you. Ow! Howlin' and a prowlin' to rock and roll. And once again, you guys can hook up with the Boston Rats easily. Just go over to ScreamingDeadRadio.com. New album. This ain't rock and roll. No, it's not. It's fucking psychobilly, rockabilly madness, people. Get on it if you dig that music. Hey, is there anybody out there that you guys want to give a shout out to? Anybody you want to thank? Anybody you want to piss off?
Don't get anybody we want to piss off stage. Jesus Christ. I just want to thank everyone for their continued support, really. You've all been great. Love you all. That's me. That's me done on that one. You're all just fantastic and just love you.
Yeah, I concur with that. Come on, Zach.
Zach.
You've got to like somebody.
Come on, you've got to like someone, mate. This might take a while, Eric.
Am I frightened of them? I like you, Eric. You.
There you go.
I don't know. I'm not allowed to like people because it always ends up in a restraining order and tears. So I find it easier just not to.
Oh, I so much understand that comment. Oh, guys, it's been great talking to you. It's been great just hanging out and chatting with you this few minutes of the show. And I know you can't play it in the concerts anymore, but that's what we're going to go into. We're going to go into the song F.O.G. You know what? Because we like it over here in the States.
You got good taste, that's why.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah,
you lot get it.
And we like the Boston Rats. So turn this one up and rock it out. We're here on Hot Roddin' tonight with the Boston Rats. It's F.O.G. Turn it up. Pull off the knob. Go crazy.
Girl, stop hanging round my door. You may be cute and you may be hot, but you're just a goddamn bore. You're such a bad girl, you ain't nothing but a whore. Why don't you fuck off, girl? I don't want you anymore. don't you fuck off, girl, I don't want you anymore. F.O.G. F.O.G. You never did know your place. I hate the way you speak and I fucking hate your face. You know I told you, girl, stop hanging round my door. Why don't you fuck off, girl, I don't want you anymore. F.O.G. F.O.G.
Did you say something? Do you want a cup of tea?